What's up, fuckers? We're a day late, but that's okay because, we're Smart City and we do what we want. Hi, we're here to talk about SmackDown Live because it was a show that happened yesterday and not tonight. I'm Alex. Drew's with me. Say hi, Drew.
Hello.
And, oh my God, am I fucking... Oh. One second.
What's going on?
My thing's happening. That's what's happening.
Well, that's something private that we shouldn't know about, sir.
No, we're fine. We're fine. Okay. Anyway.
Well, I do have to ask you one question, though. You're saying that we're late, but technically we said we were going to do it this time.
Yeah, but it's not the day.
And then we didn't do it.
Yeah, it's not the day of, but that's okay. I had a moment there where I panicked because I had things going on in my headset, and I had my laptop in my lap and my computer in my desk, and I was like, where the fuck's it coming from? Anyway, yeah, SmackDown. It was cool. Let's talk about that because it was fun, and it's been fun for like a month and a half straight. So, yeah. We don't usually do it like chronologically, so let's just talk about the things that really made us happy. Drew, what was your favorite part of the show?
When Becky Lynch said bitch.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was phenomenal. That was the best use of profanity on WWE television, I think, in WWE television history. I really think that it was so natural. It just came out. It wasn't to pop the crowd and get like an ooh reaction.
Yeah.
It just literally was. And I'm gonna get that little bitch or whatever she said. I think that's what she said. Or I'm gonna
I think that was it. I think the big thing with how she said it is, like a lot of times they're out in the ring and they're talking about it, right? And you can feel them leading up. Ooh, here comes a bad word. And like that didn't happen this time. It was just utter contempt made her say it. And that's really good because a lot of times you kind of forget with the PG rating and stuff that these people are actually live human beings. And it was like, oh yeah, Becky Lynch is a real person for a moment. Like that's what you should say when someone's been awful to you and throws you through a chair and hurts you. You should be like, that motherfucker, I'm done with this. I'm gonna punch him in the face, right? So that was really good. I don't fault you at all for saying that was your favorite part of the show.
My second favorite part, though.
Yeah?
I'm sorry, you go ahead and then I'll tell you my second.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing you were about to say. My favorite part of the show was Carmella.
Yep.
Just reeling.
Oh my God.
Nikki Bella.
It was Jesus so Christ.
Amazing. Yeah. So like we've said this before on the show, where we've talked about like the NXT call-ups and stuff, where SmackDown got 4 in the draft a couple of months ago, and we said the people we thought were going to really succeed and stuff, and I was always kind of worried about Carmella. And then her turning heel has just been like a revolution of potential. I did not know you were this good, Carmella. I didn't know you could be this captivating. And some of that is just SmackDown is great, right? But it's also credit to Carmella because Jesus, man, I have not heard a heel bash on someone that badly in maybe years.
Quite a while. I mean, they didn't do that on Raw. No heel on Raw is doing that type of stuff.
Not at all. That was great when she started going in on Cena, but going in on Bella by saying, "Hey, John, you know what? I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to rearrange your fucking girlfriend's face so badly she's not even thinking about marriage anymore." Holy shit!
Oh my God!
And then the greatest response ever is Bella's just like, punch your face in. Didn't even say a word, sprinted to the ring, started beating her up. It's exactly what the response should be, right?
It should, exactly, because if you want to get any sort of realism here, nobody is coming out when their music plays, and doing their typical entrance thing and walking down the ramp, and then they like get halfway down the ramp and start running. That's not what people do. They're going to come from 20 miles away, run all the way there, and kick your ass.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any urgency, if there's actually any passion to the feelings you have, yeah, that's what you do. That was just stellar. Another stellar segment. The women just killed it last night.
Oh my God.
Alexa Bliss is, I haven't mentioned her yet. Neither of us have mentioned her yet, but we really should because she is potentially the best performer on SmackDown at the moment. And AJ Styles is on that fucking show, so that really tells you something. Alexa Bliss has just been great. She emotes better than everyone. She gets the little small things. She covered her ears during Becky Lynch's theme yesterday. That was like, it's that kind of stuff that makes Alexa so great is the little attention to details and just the expressions, that she'll give you. I think last week, where Natalya started quoting song lyrics and she just goes, with this shit again, I'm out of here. And just
yeah, that was
I laughed for 5 minutes straight. It was great. That's what you should do. That's what you should be. You should be someone who's actually expressing stuff and not just like, I'm here to do a promo segment. You know? It feels like she's there to be a real life human being. And again, there's the liveliness to the show on SmackDown that is not being replicated in other places in the company. So
that is true.
Kudos.
And
Big fan.
To piggyback off of what you're saying about the call-up, Alexa and Carmella were not on my radar at all when they came up. And in just such a short... I'm trying to think of... Maybe Kevin Owens was the last one. I'm trying to think of a person who was introduced to the main roster and just started killing it immediately to the point where I took notice to them. And I can't think of many other people besides Kevin Owens and Alexa and Carmella. I really can't.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, I'm the NXT guy around here. I have the most NXT knowledge. I've been watching people on NXT longer than either Zentrification or D or Drew here. And I knew Alexa was capable of this, so this isn't even surprising for me. But with that said, it's just so good to see her do what I thought she was capable of. She's killing it, man. She's destroying it. And it's so great when you have this in comparison to Raw, where, let's be real here. Sasha Banks, Charlotte, they have fantastic matches, right? But the rest of their feud is kind of lacking, and there's literally no other women's feuds on Raw. So they've been the Raw feud for about a year now, and that's not good, even despite the fact that they're having great matches. Their match on Monday was fantastic. It was just, there's still some problems there. We have to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
So I think all that's great. Women are killing it on SmackDown, so I'm really happy about that.
And the other thing, I do have to say, the women are also killing it on Raw for the most part. But like you said, there's things that need to be worked out.
Yeah, and I think the big problem with the Raw stuff is it just feels very, very staged. It doesn't feel natural. It doesn't flow in the show. It's like the show drags to a halt when anytime someone's in the ring and they're not wrestling, it feels like the show drags to a halt on Raw. So that's my issue with that. And it's not just a women's problem on Raw. It's a show. It's an entire show problem. So with that said, we still have to give props to the women on SmackDown because they are just, they're great. There's one other thing on this show that I really wanted to talk about, which is obviously the main event, because that was, again, phenomenal.
I want to talk about everything on this show.
Yeah, we can totally do it. I want to get to a little small thing I think I've kind of figured out in the Wyatt Orton dynamic. And I don't think it's necessarily like this groundbreaking revelation I've had, but I think it's the thing we should discuss, which I think everyone will agree when I say it, is a really compelling storyline. So
Yeah.
we'll go to that in a minute. What was it you wanted to talk about? You said everything, obviously. So
I
I
mean,
guess we'll save the main event for last.
Yeah. One quick weird thing that I noticed yesterday. I said today because I thought I watched it today.
Yeah.
I think Morrow. He said that Tom Phillips is the host. Did you hear that? Or was I?
Yeah, he said that, and no one knows what that means.
What? Yeah, that's
It's
he's the
just
host of the show. That doesn't even
no
make
one
sense.
knows, dude. No one gets it. No one understands. It's I don't know why they think 4 people at a commentary table is a good idea.
It's just not good.
I mean, they should have Tom doing something else. Okay, he's the host of the show. Well, we can better utilize a theoretical host, than just stick him on the corner of the commentary desk looking like a child at the children's table. It doesn't look good.
Yeah, the commentary booth looks crowded with 3 people. Now you're gonna get. I mean, he's not even really at the commentary booth. He's like hanging off of the side of the commentary booth.
Yeah, I think the big problem for WWE is that they have so many of these people like Tom Phillips or Renee Young or someone like that, and they just don't know what to do with them. So they're just like, well, we'll try this thing, and they just find ways to stick them on the show. And that's not the worst thing, but it's not optimal. So that's my opinion of that. But at the same time, I like Tom Phillips, so I'm glad he's a part of the show in some regard, because I think he does a very good job.
Yeah,
I just I don't know. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, I think he is a good commentator, and I've heard him in NXT, and I think he is really good, and he's really good. I think in the backstage stuff also.
Yeah, he's great with all of it. He interacts with all the people very well. I remember when Jericho and Kevin Owens were running him down one time, and they were naming him all these wrong names, and he just kind of looks at them brokenly and just goes, "It's Tom," and it was just like, "Oh, you poor thing." It was great, and it made me feel bad for him and feel angry that Jericho and Kevin can't just say a 3-letter word. Like, God damn it, guys! Tom, Tom.
I think Chris and I did that to you too that night, if I recall.
He probably did. And I was just like, all right, suck a dick, guys. I'm out of this. I'm done with this.
Yeah, so now I'm talking to Mr. DX Goldie in our chats, and the next thing I want to bring up is
Ellsworth's dead for one.
Ellsworth and
Yay!
and AJ. Oh my!
First off, thank God Ellsworth's dead. That's great. What did you think of
AJ? Why is that great?
Well, I'll tell you in a minute. You tell me your opinion first.
Okay. Well, I think I know where you're going with that, and I'm going to be a little disappointed if you say what I think you're going to say. I think that James Ellsworth has been played out a little bit at this point, but I think he has also, in a weird way, been integral to this feud between AJ and Dean. Because, like AJ said last night, there is no way that Ellsworth would have won one of the 3 matches that he won against AJ if Dean didn't help him.
Yeah.
That is a complete truth. That is absolutely true. However, the fact that Ellsworth does have 3 wins over AJ because of Dean, I think it just makes this feud even better, in my opinion, because how do you get under someone's skin who thinks they're just the best at everything? You have to, throw these obstacles this way. And Ellsworth is an obstacle that I think works in this feud, even though a lot of people are like, now, okay, too many wins and Ellsworth needs to go away. First of all, Ellsworth's got a contract now, so he's not going away.
Well,
but I think that he can be... I trust SmackDown to utilize him better than Raw. So I feel like once
It's
he
true.
moves away from this feud, he will actually be doing great at whatever it is that they have him do on the show.
Yeah, well, there are questions about Ellsworth's longevity, and we're going to talk about Talking Smack in a little bit, where a possible solution to that was kind of talked around by some of the wrestlers. Here's why I think that Ellsworth being being dead is great, is because number one, hopefully it means he doesn't interfere in TLC.
Mm-hmm.
Or number two, it means he does interfere, but he turns heel and interferes by costing Dean Ambrose.
That would be weird.
That would be fantastic.
No, it would be interesting.
Are you kidding me? No, this dude that has no business being in WWE gets just a sniff of the limelight and immediately gets arrogant and cocky and can't handle it. That would be so good. What?
I don't think he would get booed, though.
Oh, yeah, he would. If he's main eventing over, like, people you'd like to see, oh, yeah. Oh, no. What you do is you book him like Roman Reigns, except he doesn't win titles. You put him in every fucking feud. You put him in every fucking time slot. People just get rid of him. And that would be great.
Oh, my God, I just thought of something. I just thought of something right now that actually makes me want this so badly.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I want... So, you know, he has a future title opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So he comes out in TLC on Sunday and does turn heel and helps AJ win. And then he's like, well, you know what? Now I got my title opportunity. I want you on SmackDown on Tuesday. So Tuesday comes and they do this, the main event, they do this huge thing. And AJ's like, how dare you do this? And, you know, like, he'd be like, oh, I helped you out and brought you in so you could attack Dean, whatever. Just be a shithead, complete shithead. And then they get to the ring and the bell rings and AJ takes his finger and just pokes Ellsworth's shoulder. And he just falls, like dead to the floor. And AJ pins him 1, 2, 3.
Here's what I would love. This is what I would love.
Poke of Doom 2.0.
No, what I would love is, I think, first off, Ellsworth as a heel would be really fun. And my issue is with his longevity as a babyface is he's never going to win. He's never going to become world champion, right? So I think all of that is, all that kind of limits him. And again, I'll talk about the Talking Smack angle to it in a minute, but I think as a heel, you can do stuff with him and it really could get over. Because as I see it as right now as a babyface, Ellsworth's only going to be over as long as he's still around the main event feud. As long as he's around them, he'll still matter. When he leaves, he will be done. That's what it feels like to me.
Let me just say, it wasn't a main event feud that got him over in the first place. No,
but it was AJ, really. Like, I think the novelty of him was what got him over, but that's already passed.
Well, but
he has no chin and he's skinny. That's already over.
To be honest with you, he got him.
And by over, I mean finished, not wrestling over.
He got himself. Oh, you went over by. Okay, never mind.
No.
Because I was going
to have to clarify around fucking Smark.
Pretty much got himself over with his promo on Raw against Strowman. So that wasn't any type of a main event thing. That was just him being like, I got 2 hands. Any man with 2 hands has a fighting chance, and everyone just fell in love with him. So it wasn't any type of a main event feud that got him over.
No, but it was, yes, Drew, I get that. But what I mean is, like, okay, he got over because Braun squashed him and he looked really weird. And then they brought him back and they had a little thing they could do with him and people cheered really hard. So they kept pushing him because that's how you should fucking do it. You listen to the crowd and you push based on how they react, right? So they kept going and now he's actually in a main event feud and people are cool with it.
Most people are cool with it.
Yeah, but like the people who aren't suck a dick. They haven't done anything offensive with him yet. What I'm saying is I don't think the crowd reaction is going to say the same after he's done with AJ and Dean. So my point here is just that if I'm WWE, I think you have to anticipate that he's going to be soured upon pretty quickly. And he's not like selling crazy merch or anything, so who cares? Turn him heel, it's fine. But my point being, this is what I think is the optimal booking of the situation, right? Is AJ Styles just beat the shit out of him, right?
Right.
AJ should go up to him and say, you know what, man? Tell you what. And I think he could easily kind of describe this to Ellsworth and be like, hey, now I think you're awesome and I think you've earned your shot and everything, but you do know Dean's been using you, right? And he's been using you just to get at me. And that's not fair. That's not a nice thing to do. So tell you what, man, help me get rid of Dean Ambrose. I will give you your title opportunity whenever you want it. And, that's where he just butters him up and be like, you know what? You did beat me 3 times, right? Why not? I think you could do it again. I'll be rooting for you, man. I mean, I'm going to compete, whatever, but I'll be rooting for you. And, he's going to talk to Ellsworth's newfound ego, get him to ruin his relationship with Dean, and then they get to the match and they shake hands and then just AJ obliterates him. And then that would be just so good. I think that gives Ellsworth something to do after that instead of just being.
But he'll be a heel.
I'm here to follow Dean Ambrose around. Man, I owe you so much, Dean.
Oh my God, that was almost a spot-on impression of him.
Yeah, well, I'm around weird Southerners a lot, so.
That was creepy. Wow, I just lost my train of thought right now.
Anyway.
I forgot what I was going to say.
The fact that we've spent 10 to 15 minutes talking about James Ellsworth tells you how awesome SmackDown is, because there's no reason he should be mattering. And yet he is. So that's awesome.
Okay, so now let's talk about the main event.
Okay. Yeah, so all that. Oh, let me mention the Talking Smack idea really quick, right?
Oh, okay.
So on Talking Smack, Mike Mizanin, who is not known as The Miz on that show, and Dolph Ziggler, and I think AJ Styles, all of them talked about how it's not cool that Ellsworth is getting these opportunities and stuff, and they're all kind of angry at Ellsworth.
Ziggler said that?
I think Ziggler talked about it, or he just he didn't deny it. He just was like, hey, shrugged his shoulders, whatever. But yeah, Miz got pissed. AJ was pissed. And I think that's a storyline you can run with, where all these guys, where the fuck's Apollo Crews? How the fuck is Ellsworth getting an opportunity over Apollo Crews? How is Baron Corbin not livid?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that now.
You know what I'm saying? So, this is where all these guys need to be going to Daniel Bryan and causing trouble and, pointing the finger at him by saying, you can't, this guy hasn't earned it. If you think he's earned it, put him in a match with me. Right? And, let me show you how he's not earned it and all this stuff. There's a lot you can do there. So I think that is kind of where you go next with Ellsworth. And I think you could do it as a heel where he either manages heels or something and kind of is their little lapdog. That would be great.
Hmm.
He'd be the Spike Dudley. You know what I mean? Only Spike was kind of awesome. But, yeah, I think that's kind of where you go with it. And I think he could do more as a heel than as a face. I don't know how much he can do as a face. Because if he gets in a match with Baron Corbin, that's the end of the story. He loses to Baron Corbin.
Right.
So, yeah. Anyway, main event, because that was awesome. We're just going to kind of skip the Harper Kane thing because it didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. It was a mediocre segment, but on a show where every other segment was amazing, kind of tells you. Yeah, DX Goldie says he does see an Intercontinental title. Maybe in a year. I wouldn't do it now. Maybe have him win the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That would be so silly. Okay, yeah, main event: American Alpha versus Orton and Bray Wyatt. That's a blockbuster main event, man. That's a lot of big names. What'd you
Yeah,
think of them?
and
What'd you
you know
think of the
what?
match?
Somebody on Twitter mentioned it last night. I don't remember who it was, but they said that this is how the brand split should have worked with the call-ups in NXT, where like seasoned vets get into programs with the NXT call-ups, like
I totally agree.
and this is, I think, a great example of that.
Yeah.
You got Alpha, Gable, and Jordan,
Hmm.
brand new to the main roster, still pretty much, even though it's been a couple months. But I mean, they're still like brand new to the roster,
Yep.
and you've got Orton, a seasoned veteran, and Wyatt, who is not a veteran, but has been there for a good,
He's
what,
been
like 4
upper
years
card
now.
for 3 years. Yes, and
So I,
that's actually a pretty long time in WWE.
yeah,
I mean, it's not Orton Cena long, but it's. I mean, Wade Barrett didn't last that long. I mean, Daniel Bryan lasted that long, but only barely.
don't remind me, please.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
so I think that
CM
for
Punk didn't
that,
last that long. I don't think.
for that,
Close to it.
I think that this works very well, and they have great chemistry together. We saw last night.
I think all four of them are so talented that it's impossible for them to not have great chemistry. I think the biggest, most intriguing part of this, even more entertaining than the match itself, which was phenomenally booked. Um, the best part of it is the dynamics that are happening in the Shield, or not the Shield. Why did I say the Shield? It's because they're always fighting with the Wyatt family. The dynamics happening within the Wyatt family. That's what's so interesting here.
Yeah,
Um, it's Randy is throwing these slight little jabs at Harper, and he's sidling up to Bray and saying, "We're the best, like us too." Not naming names over here, but Harper ain't that great, and it's this. You're starting to see. I think the plan here is that Orton is he's never been converted. He's just trying to break up the Wyatt family. He's trying to reduce Wyatt to just being by himself.
and Luke
And
Harper is not having any of that shit.
well, Harper's pissed,
I
and
love it. It's amazing.
rightfully should be, because Harper was giving was giving Orton the evil eye, and Wyatt just
He
says,
gives him
"Hey,
he literally stares at him.
I know it's so
Anytime.
good."
It's so great.
It's so creepy, and yeah, so he's doing that, and Bray just kind of goes, "Hey, go have your match. Stop that. Go do your thing." And like he's not understanding where Harper's going from or coming from at all, and that's all really interesting because I don't think this feud's over. I don't think Orton's going to turn at TLC or anything, but I think it's going to be like, I hope they long burn this and we get Orton versus Bray at WrestleMania. I think that'd be really fun.
Hmm.
Or maybe they do it, at the Royal Rumble or something, and they get it over with, and then you bump up Bray to face AJ or something. I don't know. Point being, I would give this more time. I wouldn't turn him at TLC or return him at TLC. But yeah, that match was just so great. American Alpha are so good. I love them so much. They are my favorite tag team, I think. It's them or the Revival, one of the two.
Breezango, hello.
Breezango is amazing. They just don't get any chances. Bugs me. I would love them just as much too, or I do love them just as much. They just don't get the time, so I'm rolling with the guys that get the time. Anyway, yeah. Was there any parts of that match that really stood out to you?
The whole thing, really. I mean, there's nothing that I can think of that just stands out, because the whole thing just stands out to me because it's so good.
I'll tell you the one thing that does stand out to me is the Wyatt family only won because Harper pulled Bray out of the corner. So it kind of goes back to that story they're telling with Orton and Wyatt and Harper, is that they're only successful when it's all three of them. So if Orton keeps driving this wedge between them, does it still work anymore? You know what I mean? What if Harper refused to have helped there, they lose to American Alpha? Because that would have been great amplitude. That would have been game, set, match. So that's interesting. I like that. There's a subtlety to that. It implies that, hey, like, yeah, they're winning now, but they may not be if they don't get this shit figured out. I like that. That's really cool.
Well, what I had also thought was, and factoring in Harper versus Kane, I thought that, you know, like, I can see that Randy is starting to use that as a, see, he can't get the job done, but he needs to get it done.
Yeah.
You know, and kind of like plant that seed in Bray's mind.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, it's like, I kind of feel like we might be getting swerved here a little bit. And when we think it's gonna come out that, you know, oh, he's gonna turn on them and he's gonna be an RKO out of nowhere to Bray and whatever, I kind of feel like maybe they won't do it that way. Maybe they'll actually do something different and even more interesting.
I hope they do.
Maybe make Orton do something that Bray sees is so trustworthy and loyal to him that Bray actually follows Orton for a little while.
I don't like that. Bray should never follow anyone. He should cut off his own.
Well, maybe not follow him, but kind of. But
he like trusts him more than Harper or something.
Now. Right? Like,
yeah, maybe
Harper or something like that.
Maybe I don't think that's ever where they're going with this. What I think the issue, and I think this is really the brilliance of the booking so far, is they're clearly teasing dissension between Harper and Orton, right? And the obvious answer is Orton's going to turn. Well, there is also the implication even underneath that. You have to look to see it. But Harper pulled Bray out of the way. And if he doesn't do that, they lose. There's the implication there that if they can figure out a way to make this work, they're unstoppable. Because if they work all three of them together, American Alpha couldn't hang with them. So that's the subtlety that I really like. When wrestling does that really well, it tickles me to death. And they're doing it on SmackDown with this. So that was cool. Yeah, I'm hoping. Oh man, I would hope that. Quite honestly, if I got my pick of Wyatt family storyline, what I would have them do is they win the tag titles, they hold it via Freebird rule, and they figure out a way between Orton and Harper's dissension. Wyatt shows his leadership for the first time ever and fucking gets them to get along. And Orton and Harper kind of defend the belts while Wyatt goes on for the world championship. And then you get Harper, Orton defending belts at WrestleMania, and you get AJ Styles, Bray Wyatt with a chance to get all the gold at WrestleMania. That'd be cool. I'd like that.
I like that, yeah.
Sounds fun, right? And like the fucking Wyatt family matters.
And that's what
That's great. Yeah, and then the Shield never was able to do it, so, or were they? I think they were, but it was with the United States.
No, they weren't. They weren't all. Yeah, with the U.S. Championship at the tag.
It was never big gold,
which is nothing.
Yeah, I mean, unless Cena's holding it, it's nothing. So.
True.
Well, that was always Cena's first belt. That was his original spinner belt. So, you know, I miss Cena, and that's crazy.
Yeah,
because he's really good on this fucking show. I want him to cut a promo on Carmella.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Or I want her to cut a promo to his face, and him to put her over. Like, that'd be amazing. I wish they did more of that. I wish they had more male-female wrestler interactions where, like, they're not hooking up or anything, but they're you know, even them are having contention. Like, Finn Balor and Bayley always got along on NXT. I would like to see times where Bayley's got something bad going on and he goes up, rubs her shoulder, says, "Hey, you got this. Don't worry about it." Like, that's cool. Like, I like that. That would be really fun.
Yeah, I think that
Anyway.
would be really fun.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea. I like that, what you planned there for WrestleMania between the three of them.
Yeah. I'm glad they took my my Randy Orton idea and ran with it from the our Smark City Draft episode.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, SmackDown fucking killed it this week.
Just so great.
The only issue with the show this week was the Kane Harper match, and that wasn't great, but that wasn't awful either. And they were a little light on wrestling, but TLC's coming up, so like I can forgive them for that.
But yeah, I mean every single segment served a purpose for the show on Sunday.
Yeah, I think so. I really, really do think so. And TLC, I'm fucking excited for that. Was there anything about Talking Smack you wanted to talk about? Because Mike Mizanin
and
that was awesome.
Should meet one day.
Mike, if The Miz and Mike Mizanin ever got in the same room together, I think the world would explode.
Yeah, those two need to meet, for sure.
Yeah, that would.
And I have to say, there wasn't really anything that much. I thought Becky hit another, great promo home. I don't really even remember what she said, but I know I liked it.
Yeah, but even then, it goes back to my female and male wrestlers, getting together and talking. That's what Talking Smack gave us. The Miz and Becky Lynch were, verbally sparring for a little bit. That was fun. It's different. I like it.
Yeah. And Miz, I got to tell you, I think Miz is as good as Brian is in that role. The way he just... Because he actually did... I thought it was just going to be, it's going to be The Miz, and he's going to just, talk over Renee, and it's just going to be The Miz show. But he actually engaged like an interviewer. And and he was shooting a little bit, too. And it was like, wow, he's as good as Brian is in this role.
Miz is underrated. I don't know if he's as good as Brian, just because of Brian's,
Brian,
fame.
Brian is untouchable, practically.
Yeah, but that's like that. When you're doing really good, it's really not about comparing you to someone else. It's about recognizing how good you are in the moment, and that's what Miz was. He was very good on Talking Smack. It's like a 10 to 15 minute thing. If anybody hasn't seen it, I would recommend you go watch Talking Smack because Mike Mizanin did very well. And
then AJ called him Michael too.
Michael. Yeah, AJ calling him Michael was so great. I would love for Miz to call AJ whatever AJ stands for. That'd be fun.
Doesn't stand for Anthony
like
James
Aaron.
Or Andrew James or something?
It's something like that. I can look it up. All that was great. I think on the show yesterday was obviously wasn't Ellsworth. It's Alan. His name is Alan Neil Jones.
I was so wrong on that. Jesus.
Alan Neil. Miss called him Alan Neil. Or Alan Jones, really, because that's what the AJ is.
I feel embarrassed right now.
Yeah. Alan Jones. That would be great. I would enjoy that. Anyway, man. SmackDown's great. I love SmackDown. I could watch SmackDown all week.
5 out of 5. I mean, it's amazing. It really is.
I mean, it was an A show from the A show. It's another A from the A show. I will be curious to see what the ratings were. Hopefully they are still roaring and, Oh,
yeah, we should have found that out today, shouldn't we?
Maybe. Let me see. I'll look it up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
spell SmackDown properly. So let me ask you this. What do you think of TLC? Who you got winning?
Oh yeah, that's right. TLC is on Sunday, so we should do like a little prediction there about that. Um, hmm. Okay, so what matches do we have? Do we have like a match list somewhere? Because I know we have AJ versus Dean in a ladder match, right? Oh no, it's a
Yeah,
TLC.
I'll list you the matches in just a second because I just found the SmackDown live ratings. Their ratings this week were 2.57 million, which is up slightly from 2.5 million last week.
Oh, okay.
So they are that is I think their second most since September. So yes, their ratings are up, which is great because a good product deserves good ratings. Very very happy about that. Yeah, let me find the TLC card. And I'll list it down, and you tell me your winners because we're at that point in the or at that point in the pay per view cycle where we need to make predictions. So
Absolutely.
yeah, we'll end our nice little recap of SmackDown with that. The chairs match is Kalisto versus Baron Corbin.
Hmm.
No DQ match is Nikki Bella versus Carmella. And then the tag team championship match, Heath Slater, Rhino versus Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton. Jesus Christ, that's a mismatch. Hey, Slater and Rhino should get creamed. Intercontinental Championship ladder match, The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. The fact that I'm not fed up with Miz and Ziggler is, again, an attribute for
Yeah, I remember. I remember we had a
I
little bit of an
fucking hated
argument
it.
about
I
that
didn't
one.
want to see it. Yeah, and I'm still not fed up with it. So that's really great because they've had like 5,000 matches in their careers. So that really does say something. And then the two kind of main event matches on the card. Women's Championship tables match, Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss, and then the championship TLC match, AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose. So
Isn't
let's
it
run down
also
the line.
interesting?
What now?
Now, before we get into this, isn't it interesting that I feel like this is the first TLC show that has all T or L or C or TLC matches in it,
Yeah.
and not like just some this person versus
Not
this
just, hey,
person.
here's a TLC match. Here's a TLC match. You have like each individual one. You have a C, you have a L, you have a T. You have a chairs match, Kalisto Baron Corbin. You have an L, the Intercontinental Championship match, and then you have the tables match with Bliss and Lynch. It's great. Mix it up.
Yeah, because I feel like TLC pay per views in the past have just had like regular matches in it without tables, ladders, or chairs,
Yeah.
and that's just silly. Like, why would you do that?
I don't know, man. So
All right,
let's run this down. I'm gonna list you. I'm gonna give you the match. You tell me who you got and what you'd like to see. Ideally, I'll do the same, and then we'll wrap this up after that. So the chairs match: Kalisto versus Baron Corbin. Who you got, and what do you want to see?
Corbin, because I love Corbin so much. Uh, and um, I like Kalisto, but or Kalisto. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Kalisto.
It is
I don't know how to
Kalisto.
say it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not
Um,
Callisto.
I don't know. Some people say Kalisto. I hear Kalisto.
Well, they're marks, so they can shut up.
I like him. I really, really wish that he won the Cruiserweight Championship because
Should have fucking happened for sure.
and then what happened on 205 Live could have also then happened. But I think that I really think when we get to our 205 Live review, we'll talk about that. But
Yeah.
I want to say Corbin should just smash the shit out of Kalisto.
Yeah. I feel like
And
this match should be how they were hoping, like what this match should be how Kalisto Ryback should have been. It should have been just Kalisto sprints around for a little bit, and it's like, holy shit, he may pull this off, and then just bam. Nope. The fly got swatted. That'd be fun. What were you gonna say? Sorry, I got excited.
That's okay. It's okay to get excited sometimes. Yeah, I just think that Corbin. You see, the problem with this is that the both of them need wins, but I think Corbin needs it a little more, only because we're going to come into Royal Rumble and WrestleMania season, and his card, I think, it needs to be a little bit higher, because
Yeah,
we need somebody like him on this roster. We have a
yeah,
lot of Kalistos, even though Kalisto, I think, stands out on his own. But I think, we had the Andre last year that Corbin won as his debut on the roster. And I think that they need to really cement him as a monster heel. So I think he should win here.
Well, I mean, he's not a monster heel because monster heels win squash matches, and this isn't going to be a squash match. You could make the argument that people need wins on everyone, because everyone needs wins, because as much as people say it doesn't matter, wins matter in this thing. The only people who don't need wins are people who are like legends. I think the right decision, and this is based on, this feud ain't going to end here, folks. This is just where they're starting for real. I think Corbin should win. I'm expecting Corbin to win. And I kind of expect Kalisto to be a thorn in his side for a little bit. And then finally, Corbin hits him with a chair shot and just gets more and more gruesome from there. And then Kalisto has one little final struggle. And then, nope, end of days on a chair, game over. I think that's probably how that goes. And that's what I hope happens, because I think Baron needs a really, really good match. He hasn't done a lot since being called up yet. And I think he just needs a really good match under his belt, and he can have that with Kalisto. So that would be good. No DQ match, Nikki Bella versus Carmella. Who do you think wins? And
it's got to be Nikki. I mean, as much as my Smark heart wants Carmella to win, it has to be Nikki, because this is the comeuppance moment. And I mean, at the same time, I don't want this feud to end, because I don't want them to stop wrestling each other. It's just so great. But yeah, I do think Nikki should win.
Yeah, I'm in agreement here. I think Nikki needs to win, especially after Carmella eviscerated her on the microphone. I think Carmella should get this win, and it should just make Nikki Bella should get this win, and the Carmella should just get even more vicious on the microphone in retaliation. I expect this to get nasty. I expect there to be a lot of weapons used, and I expect Nikki to finally hit a Bella punch, whatever she calls that fucking thing, Bella hammer, whatever.
Bella hammer, yeah.
Yeah, the Bella hammer. How the fuck does she have it? Does she not have a move called For Whom the Bella Tolls? How the fuck is that not a thing, Nikki? Anyway.
That's weird. I would not.
It's a Metallica reference. Shut up.
I know I know Metallica, but I'm just like, I that's way too long of a name for a move, number one.
Oh, it's fine. Whatever. My point being, I think this is Carmella flees and Bella finally gives her comeuppance. So I hope that's what happens. I think this should be one of the babyface wins on the card tonight. I don't have many of them, so yeah. SmackDown tag teams.
I can just imagine Morrow shouting, "For whom the Bella tolls! For whom the Bella tolls!"
I love it. That would be great. I love it, Michael.
Actually, it's not
that one hell of a Bella, Michael, or whatever JBL would fucking say, because he's
Morrow, maybe, I don't know.
No, he's Texan. By the way, Drew's from Brooklyn. He can't really do South talk, so leave that to me, my friend.
Really trying to.
I know, but it was funny. You got to commit. SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Heath Slater, Rhino versus Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton. Who you got?
Well, I mean,
what do you think happens?
I mean, Orton, and it's like you were saying, like to see the four of these men in the ring together is just so weird to even think about. But
yeah, it's a weird group.
Orton and Bray should win, but I don't know if they're going to.
Well, that's the
Something
question.
tells me they might not, just for some reason.
Some goofy reason.
Maybe Luke Harper tries to get involved and ends up going south for them. I don't know, but I kind of feel like they're not going to win, even though they should.
I feel like the only way they don't win is because someone turns heel or turns face if Harper turns on the Wyatt family. It's either going to be it's either, in my opinion, Orton turns face. I guess face on Wyatt because he's still a heel technically, or Harper turns face, and those are the only two options for the Wyatts losing.
But here's the question though: why would he? So does that mean that a tag team title, being a tag team champion, doesn't matter to him? He just really wanted to get into Wyatt's head and screw with him?
Yeah, because he's a fucking 12-time world champion. Why would the fucking tag titles matter to him? He just had his daughter. I don't know if they're going to talk that into the storyline, but like he's a millionaire and he had a daughter.
Well, Bray did use Roman's daughter in
yeah, so like maybe they do. I don't know. I don't. I think it's a little different using an infant though. That's kind of creepy. I think there's no turn here. I think they play it up a little longer. I think
actually what
keep teasing dissension.
Like what I said, Harper will cost them the match, and Orton drives a bigger wedge. I think.
Yeah, I don't think that happens. I think they win. He also said that it was Hemingway for whom the bell tolls before Metallica, and that's totally true. I just think most people know it from Metallica because who the fuck reads Ernest Hemingway? Didn't Ernest Hemingway write The Old Man and the Sea? That fucking awful book that I had to read. It's like 100 pages, which is not even that bad, but it's the most boring bullshit I've ever read in my entire life. Emma from no one's gonna know Emma either, but Emma is better than that, and that's not the wrestler. That's a book, and it's fucking awful too.
Yeah, I don't really know Emma except Emelina.
It's from the same bitch that wrote whatchamacallit, Sense and Sensibility. Yeah, Ernest Hemingway wrote Old Man and the Sea because fuck that book. So yeah, I think what happens is they neutralize Rhino, they torture Slater for a little bit, they win it handily. Rhino kind of runs off in the sunset. Because he's not even a full-time wrestler, is he?
I believe he's not. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's what happens. So yeah. Hopefully that is what happens because the Wyatt family, first off, Bray Wyatt needs a title. It's been 3 years. He needs one, and they need a decisive like, ooh, yeah, holy shit, they're destined to be, the top thing going on SmackDown unless something weird happens. Intercontinental ladder match. Miz, Ziggler, who you got? Why?
There's another difficult one for me. I feel like Miz should win. Like I feel like Miz should win, but then I feel like what happens to Dolph Ziggler then if he doesn't win? Because this feud really like brought Dolph Ziggler back from the dead, practically, and if he doesn't win again, I don't know. It's just this one's tough.
Well, he won it, but then he got cheated out of it.
But what happens if he doesn't win?
I think they kind of made it clear on Talking Smack this is the last time they're fighting, or at least Ziggler said that would be the case if he wins. I gotta imagine the feeling is reciprocated by Miz. My thought is Miz wins. I think that's the smart thing. He is the hotter wrestler here. I think it's always, if when in doubt, go with the heel. And Miz has just been so good. Why would you take it off him? That's my opinion. And I think Ziggler can go any number of ways. He can go heel. He can wrestle Corbin or someone like that. There's stuff for him to do. He can get in tag team. He can get with helping Dean or somebody. It depends on what else happens on the show, but I think that's probably the way to go. And I'm rooting for Miz to win. So,
yeah, so am I, for the record.
Yeah.
I'm
just confused.
Yeah, I'm confused. I'm
confused. There's worse things to be than confused in the world. Like being just blatantly wrong and blind to it. That's a bad thing. I don't know why I said that. I think it's just the political onslaught from a year has gotten to me. SmackDown Women's Championship table match. Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss. Who you got? Why?
Here's another one. There's a couple of matches on here. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, dude, there's some parity going on SmackDown. That's the difference. Feels like Raw is very obvious, and this feels like, oh shit, anyone could win, and I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so recently Becky did an interview, right? And she said that she really wants to actually play a heel.
Yep.
And the seriousness that she showed last night.
That bitch she threw, man.
What? Oh my god! I think she could pull it off.
Dude, now, she killed it as a heel on
I never
NXT
saw
right
it.
before they turned her babyface.
Yeah, I never saw it.
She was great, dude. Let me go find a match for you.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, I can do that.
At the same time that I feel like she should retain because she is the best of the 4 horsewomen right now. Sorry, I really feel that way.
It's not something to be sorry about.
For any Charlotte or Sasha.
Oh,
fan,
they can
Stan,
suck.
Really.
They can suck it.
Yeah, they really can.
Don't use stands. Fucking.
I feel like, well, that's what they are.
No, it's fucking internet weirdos talking weird words. What's a stan? I've never heard of a stan in my life except for people named Stan.
Are you serious?
Yes. Still have no idea what that means. What?
The Eminem song, Stan?
I've never. I never.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Oh, I'm looking it up on Urban Dictionary now.
You're going to have to look that up. Yeah.
Based on a central character in the Eminem song by the same name. A stan is an overzealous maniacal fan for any celebrity or athlete. You weirdos. Such a dumb word. It's like
you have to hear the song.
It's lit or something like that. Like, okay.
Lit is,
right.
You know what, I have to be honest, I didn't like lit.
Or Bay. Oh, that's another weird one. That's
stupid. But actually, I've come to start to like, and I actually on occasion use lit. It's lit sometimes.
You can use it ironically.
Lit's lit. No. Bruh, you can use ironically.
No, you can.
Bruh.
I mean, you use jokingly. You can use that jokingly. You can use lit ironically because it's ironic because it's silly.
I actually.
That's my opinion.
Lit, no. Lit doesn't bother me anymore.
Well, here's the problem with people using stan. There's another word for it already. It's called being a fanatic. Fanatic for a person that to the point that you're irrational about it.
Before we came on here, you talked about how we needed to change our avatar.
Yeah.
When you could have just said profile picture.
Why would I say profile picture when it takes more syllables than avatar?
Who cares? Profile
conciseness.
Picture, avatar. It's just one extra syllable. Big deal.
Oh my God. Suck a dick. This is so stupid. Oh my God. I can't believe we're arguing over avatar. Someone wanted us to change our profile picture because that is I got to make sure. Here's another word that is getting used nowadays. Triggered. I have to make sure Drew doesn't get triggered.
What are you talking about? You're the one that's getting triggered right now.
No, because you're like, don't use avatar.
No, I'm saying that you could use avatar or profile picture. It doesn't matter. Just like you can say stan or you can say fanatic.
Oh, my God.
And technically, if you want to go down that road, stan has less syllables than fanatic. So you should be saying stan.
Oh my God. Why am I here? Do you want to say a thing about the fucking match, or do you want me to just start talking like I want to do?
Which one are we talking about again? I forgot.
Bliss, Becky.
Probably Alexa Bliss. I'm gonna go with Bliss on this.
I have Alexa Bliss too. I'm surprised that you picked Alexa Bliss. I think Bliss has been killing it so far that that's the only. I think that's the smart decision. And like they've shown on Raw, they don't care about like their women holding these titles for a long time. Hell, they think multiple title runs or reigns uh, make a more prestigious resume, you know? So yeah, like have Becky lose it and then get it back later, and then she's a 2-time champion, and it's like, ooh, she's even more better than she was. And yes, I said more better intentionally in an ironic way because that's WWE's reasoning in my head. So yeah, I'm going for Alexa Bliss. I think that's the right decision. I think that would be really good. And that leaves us with the final match, the TLC match, Ambrose, AJ. Who you got? Why?
Well, if we want to go with what we were talking about before, it would be AJ. Well, actually, I really think AJ should win, period, regardless. But how he wins is going to be the more interesting thing to kind of come up with, or what could happen, fantasy booking, whatever you want to call it.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that Ellsworth gets involved, or do you think he's stretchered out of this altogether?
It took a long time for him to come back from being squashed by Braun Strowman. And I would almost equate being squashed by Braun Strowman to the Styles Clash that he took on the stairs.
Jesus Christ, that Styles Clash, though.
So
that was good.
I feel like he shouldn't get involved, even though what we were talking about before is a really good idea. I kind of feel like it would be... that would kind of overplay him a little bit if he actually was able to come out after that brutal Styles Clash.
Yeah, I think the right decision is you keep him out of it. You have a clean match for once, and AJ finally gets revenge on Dean Ambrose for making him look like a fool. And I think AJ should walk out.
Kind of funny though, if he does show up, but it's like he has a neck brace and his arm is in the sling, and he's in like an electric wheelchair, like rolling down the ramp.
Only if it has like a Walmart. It's like a Walmart branded one with like a shopping cart on the front.
Yeah, like how what's his name was doing when they were doing that stupid Mex America gimmick.
Yeah,
and
DX Goldie says that Ellsworth should be out of the feud here so that they can get a definite finish. I agree with that. I think that's probably the way to go, unless you're turning Ellsworth heel. Like, that's what you should do, in my opinion, is keep it clean. Let AJ get over on Ambrose. Move on to bigger and better things because he is the face that runs the place, the champ that runs the camp, the twinkle of, I don't know.
Of our eyes.
Twinkle of his stinkle.
I think that the champ that runs the camp is the best friggin' line. It's so stupid, but it's
the best thing about it. The best thing about it is that it is intentionally stupid to point out how stupid face that runs the place is. Yeah. It is intentionally dumb to point out how dumb Cena is. That's what's so beautiful about it. So, yeah, man, we've said it again. We've said it a bunch tonight. SmackDown's great. We've been going for a long time here with this damn review. We may have to leave a 205 live review later because we want to do that too. It's just tough this week.
I'm already. We can do it right after this.
Can we?
If you want to.
Only if we keep it brief. Much briefer than this.
What are you doing tomorrow that you have to?
Babysitting, like I'm doing every fucking day.
Yeah, but you don't babysit until like the afternoon.
I got them. No, I have them all day, except for when they're in school. But they're tiny, so they come home from school early. We can do it. Just keep it. just keep it fairly short and we're good. Anyway, point being, thank you for listening to this. We appreciate that. We'd love to hear your TLC predictions in the comments. We'd like to see kind of where the fan base is thinking here. I think it's a good show. I hope that all of y'all agree with us on the evaluation of SmackDown because it's really doing well. We hope you're watching SmackDown too because they deserve to be rewarded for their excellence lately. Yeah, but we're Smark City. You can reach us at the Smark City on Twitter. We're almost at 600 followers, so if you want to kind of bump us over that'd be cool. We'd give you the shout out for that. Appreciate it.
And we'll follow our 600 follower too.
Yeah, we'll follow that. We'll follow our 600 follower. Fuck yeah, we will. And maybe the 599th one too. Maybe. We'll see. See how much you really want it. You can reach us on our website at thesmarkcity.com. We're looking into ways to start creating some content. We don't really want to we don't want to be journalists about this necessarily. Like we don't want to be reporting news as much as we want to be, as being fans and creating talking points and talking about the things that matter to us. So we're looking at ways to do that. And, if you have any ideas, any kind of content you'd like from us, let us know. Drew, I've got nothing else to say, man.
And I've been creating our other things, so I have nothing else to say either.
Well, that sounds about good. So later, Tweers.